Kangaroos captain Walsh breaks silence on DCE's Roosters move. It's war. Fans go wild. In the green and gold that has demanded unbreakable loyalty for generations, what if the brother who bled beside you in the fiercest battles suddenly dons the colors of your sworn enemy? Not in betrayal, but in a move that reignites the fire of competition we all secretly crave. Suncorp Stadium, Brisbane, November 22nd, 2025. The air hangs heavy with the scent of eucalyptus and unfinished business. A press conference room packed tighter than a finals huddle. Journalists from every corner of the league world crammed shoulder to shoulder. Reece Walsh, at 23, the youngest Kangaroos captain in a century, sits at the long table, his lightning-streaked hair still damp from morning training. Across the border, in Sydney, Daly Cherry-Evans has just been unveiled in tricolor, the halfback who captained Queensland to glory, now bound for the Roosters' den in 2026. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Sport Talk content. For 15 seasons, DCE was Manly's heartbeat, Queensland's cunning fox, 352 games of loyalty etched into the northern soul. Walsh, the prodigy who rose under his wing, learned the art of the short kick, the dagger pass, from stolen glances during Maroons camps. They were more than teammates. They were the quiet architects of an era, sharing hotel rooms on tour, whispering strategies under the cover of night. Now the halfback's defection to Bondi Junction feels like a family fracture. A Queensland legend crossing into enemy territory where the Roosters' red and white stripes have haunted Maroons' dreams since the dawn of origin. The room buzzes with tension as the moderator calls for questions. Cameras click like loading chambers. Walsh adjusts his Kangaroos polo, the green fabric a shield against the storm he knows is coming. A reporter from the Sydney Morning Herald leans in first. Reece, DCE's move to the Roosters, how does it sit with you, captaining the Kangaroos against a bloke who's been like a big brother? Walsh pauses, eyes dropping to the table, fingers tracing the edge of his water glass. The room holds its breath. When he looks up, there's no venom, only a spark, the kind that turns boys into warriors. It's war, he says, voice steady but laced with the gravel of 1,000 tackles. Not personal, not bitter, but make no mistake, when that whistle blows in 2026 and I see him in that Roosters jersey calling plays against us, it'll be war like we've never known. The words land like a perfectly weighted grubber, bouncing into the silence. A murmur ripples through the press pack. Walsh leans forward, his gaze sweeping the room like he's addressing the entire nation. DCE taught me everything. How to read a defense, how to lead when your lungs are screaming no. He's Queensland through and through, the heart of the Maroons dynasty we built together. But loyalty to your club, that's sacred too. And if he's choosing Bondi, then he's lighting a fuse under every one of us up here. He smiles then, small and fierce, the kind that hides 1,000 unsaid stories. Bring it, brother. We'll clash like thunder. And when the dust settles, we'll share a beer and laugh about how we made the game greater for it. The room erupts, not in chaos, but in a wave of applause that starts with the Queensland journos and spreads like wildfire. Phones are out, tweets firing off in real time. One veteran scribe wipes his eye, muttering, "That's how you captain a country." By evening, the clip is viral. WalshDCEWar explodes across platforms, racking up 2 million views in hours. Fans in Brisbane pubs raise glasses to the screen, chanting Queensland, Queensland, while Sydney diehards flood comment sections with fire emojis and predictions of Roosters' glory. Memes flood in, Walsh and DCE photoshopped as gladiators, their origin jerseys swapped for armor. News cycles devour it whole. Fox Sports runs a special, Brother versus Brother, the new origin fault line. Indigenous elders nod in approval on talkback radio, speaking of the old ways, where rivalry sharpens the spirit, not severs it. In Manly Heartland, Sea Eagle supporters feel the sting of DCE's exit anew, but even they tip their hats to the fire Walsh just stoked. This moment echoes through history, back to the days when players stayed put and clubs were bloodlines. Cherry-Evans' move, the first of its kind for a 350-game veteran, cracks open that vault, reminding us that evolution demands sacrifice, that even legends must wander to keep the flame alive. Social media becomes a battlefield of love and lore. Young fans, barely old enough for their first origin, post videos recreating the presser in backyards, jerseys clashing in mock war cries, Veterans who watched DCE's 2011 premiership share stories of Walsh as a wide-eyed kid at camps, now the captain calling the shots. It's more than a soundbite. It's a declaration that the game we cherish thrives on these fractures, not to break us, but to forge us stronger. In the quiet aftermath, as the cameras fade and Brisbane's night falls soft over the river, we see what this truly means, that true brotherhood isn't erased by colors. It's tested by them. War, in Walsh's words, isn't destruction. It's the sacred dance of growth, where every clash carves deeper respect into the soul. Rivalry like this doesn't diminish heritage, it elevates it, turning club loyalties into the very fuel that powers a nation's pride. And in the heart of every player who pulls on a jersey, it whispers a truth. The greatest wars are the ones we fight not to win, but to honor what came before. Reece Walsh didn't just break the silence that afternoon. He reminded us that sportsmanship isn't polite handshakes. It's the fire-eyed promise to meet your brother on the field and give him your absolute best, so that when the final whistle blows, you're both better men. This is the legacy of leaders like him, not in avoiding the storm, but in charging into it with eyes wide open, heart full, ready to turn division into destiny. 3 days later, in a dimly lit Sydney hotel bar away from the glare, Walsh and DCE finally connect. No press, no agenda, just two Queenslanders nursing schooners, the weight of the world between them. Walsh speaks first, voice low. I meant every word, D, but you know it's love wrapped in that war cry. You've been my North Star since I was a scrawny kid chasing your shadow in camp. DCE chuckles, eyes crinkling with the miles they've shared. I know, kid. That's why I'm smiling. You captaining the Roos against me? That's the dream I had for you all along. Push me harder than I've ever been pushed. Make me earn every minute in that jersey. Walsh raises his glass. To war, then, the kind that builds legends. DCE clinks it firm. And to the green and gold that always brings us home. The legacy of that press conference, of those words that set fans wild, isn't in the headlines that fade or the memes that tomorrow's news buries. It's in the young halfback in Cairns, dreaming of one day facing his mentor across the line, knowing the fire in his veins was lit by this very moment. It's in the father in Bondi, explaining to his son why club colors matter, not to divide, but to unite us in the grand theater of the game. Reece Walsh and Daly Cherry-Evans didn't just ignite a rivalry that night. They showed a generation that the deepest bonds are battle-tested, that war declared with honor is the truest form of peace.